Our next session is up on deck, Unlocking Sustainable Financial Growth, led by Kara Perez. Kara is the founder of Bravely Go, a sustainability-focused financial education company. Bravely Go focuses on bringing actionable, intersectional, and accessible financial education to people who have never learned the language of money. She's the author of a forthcoming book, so let's give a hand for that. Green Money. It's coming up in 2024, and Kara has been featured across the press at large in the New York Times, Good Morning America, Forbes, NPR, Glamour, ABC Nightline News, US News and World Report, and the list goes on. Kara, it's such a joy to have you in the room with us today, and our virtual classroom is now yours.
Thank you so much for having me and for that very warm introduction. I'm going to drop my IG in the chat right now as I really want to encourage everyone. I know we're learning a lot. We're hearing from a lot of people. If anything I say resonates with you, if you have questions afterwards, like please slide into my DMs. I spend way too much time on Instagram, so come find me later. But yes, I am so excited to be here. I am going to share my screen. Unlocking sustainable growth. Yes. Okay, great. We have technology success. So yes, I'm Kara, and I'm so thrilled to be here. I am a first-gen Latina. My dad was born and raised in Dominican Republic and moved to the US when he was 18 years old. My mom is an Irish American, and her family has been in the US for a couple of generations. So I always like to start off all of my presentations talking about my own financial literacy journey, not because I am an egomaniac, but because all of us here today are coming to money from different places. And I think that's something to be celebrated and acknowledged. We don't all have the same money story, and that's totally fine. That's 100% okay. And probably a lot of your strength and your financial power will be in your story. And we've heard a lot of that already from the speakers today. So like I said, my dad's from Dominican Republic, met my mom, had 3 kids, shout out my fellow middle children, and then promptly got divorced. And so I grew up with just my mom, single mom, my 2 siblings, and we were very low income. And we were on food stamps for about 6 years of my childhood. I am the only one of my siblings to go to college, and I graduated in 2011, shout out my fellow millennials, with a degree in English and $25,302 in student loan debt. And anyone who graduated around 2007 to like 2013 knows it was bad times. It was the Great Recession and the aftermath of the Great Recession, and the job market was a mess, and nobody was interested in my degree in English. So my kind of introduction to financial adulthood was fraught, and money felt very difficult for me in my early and mid 20s. And I was very low income. I was working part-time as a waitress. In 2014, I made $18,000 total for the year. But in 2015, I paid off my student loans. I made my last student loan payment June 7th, 2015. And then I promptly went out with all my friends and had a little too much to drink. Okay. Is how I like to share that story. And I can say honestly that learning about money changed my whole life. Growing up in a house where we didn't have a lot of money, and the word that I most closely associated with money was no. No, we don't have it. No, don't ask for that. No, we can't afford it. And then being low income as an early adult, I felt like money was a trap, or money was a challenge, or it was for other people, but it wasn't for me. I felt like I had to go on the defensive around money. And once I broke through and paid off my debt and changed my mindset and learned the language of money, I realized, hey, guess what? I'm actually in a relationship with money, and so are all of us. We're using money every day, right? We're swiping our credit cards, we're making our loan payments, we are saving money, we are investing. What we need to do is figure out a way to make money sustainable for ourselves. How can we be in a healthy relationship with money? How can we develop healthy financial habits that we can keep for the long term? How can we find a way to make money something that we can show up to in a way that we can keep coming back to? So that's a little bit about me. Again, we're all coming to money from different places. If we want to build that healthy relationship, we have to focus on financial sustainability. And that's going to be about repetition, goals, and growth, RGG. Okay. Now, your sustainable financial habits don't have to look the same as mine, and they don't have to look the same as your families or your friends or your coworkers. Okay. What you want to do with money or what money means to you might be different than what it means to someone else or what someone else wants to do. I'm very interested in personally financial independence, and that means that I invest and save very aggressively. I have a partner, he's amazing. He's not as interested in it as me, so he invests and saves less aggressively. Is one better than the other? No, they're just different. So we all have different abilities, we all have different privileges, we all have different goals. That's our superpower. Getting really clear on what money means to you, which some of y'all have already done in the chat. Janice asked a lot of us, like, what do we want to do with our money? What does having abundance with money mean to you? Having that clarity is going to be that first step to building a sustainable financial plan, because clarity is going to lead to motivation and it's going to lead to determination. You're going to be determined to reach your financial goals and to build your financial wealth and to grow your financial knowledge. So your financial plan and any sustainable financial plan should focus on getting you where you want to go while acknowledging where you currently are. So I have a question for y'all, and I want you to answer me in the chat here. What is something about money that frustrates you? Something about your financial life that frustrates you right now. Could be debt, could be that you don't feel like you're saving enough, could be your job, just something that frustrates you. And what is something that you want from money? Do you want to feel better about money? Do you want money to pay for a ticket to Thailand next year? What's something that's frustrating for you? And what's something that you want from money? Okay, I'm already seeing some answers come in. So someone says debt is frustrating. Someone says interest rates. I assume that's frustrating. Someone says low income is frustrating. But someone says, I want to learn about index funds, or maybe that's a frustrating thing. The way I handle money and not knowing what to invest. Yes, that's a frustration, right? Money goes straight to bills and rent. I don't feel financial freedom right now. That's a frustration. Absolutely. Thank you all so much for sharing. There's so many good things here. I ask this question because sustainable financial planning and sustainable money habits really rely on clarity. So the clearer that you can get on what you want to change about your money, the clearer the action plan is going to become. Okay. And y'all are, oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Thank you all so much for being so open and sharing with each other. The vibes in this room are immaculate, as our Gen Z friends would say. I love it. So again, I think it's totally fine for us to acknowledge where we are, right? And to say, I feel frustrated by not being paid enough for my labor. That's a frustration for me. Okay, but what's something that I'm good at? What's a tool that I have in my box that I can change this? Or who's someone I know that can help me change that? Once we identify the frustration, we can begin to identify the plan, right? So sustainability, it's about repetition, goals, and growth. So let's talk about that next G, goals. Financial goal setting really, really thrives on clarity. So saying something like, I want to pay off debt, it's nice, it's okay, but it's not a really good goal. Instead saying, I want to pay off $5,000 in credit card debt by September 2024. You see how that's so much more powerful because it's so much more specific. We know how much debt you're trying to pay off. We know what type of debt you're trying to pay off, and we know when you're trying to do it, right? So much more clear. The other thing that I want you to add into your financial goal setting is a reward. A lot of my peers, listen, bring it in, bring it in. A lot of my peers in the financial space, especially people who have been around for a long time, let's just say, for like decades doing this work, They offer shame-based financial education. They think that if they yell at you, you will reach your financial goals. I do not subscribe. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe to that. I want you to build in rewards to your sustainable financial goals. Okay. To your sustainable financial plan, you should have rewards. So, as part of your goal, as your goal is, I want to pay off $5,000 in credit card debt by September 2024. When I do, I'll take myself out to my favorite restaurant. Look, if you just paid off $5,000 in credit card debt, you can spend $75 on dinner out, right? Think about the difference in those two numbers. You just did your future self a huge favor by paying off 5 grand in debt. Treat yourself. Okay, it might be dinner, it might be getting a new piece of clothing. Keep the treat. I like to say keep the treat under $100, right? But I want you to have that treat. So give yourself that specific goal, give yourself a timeline, and give yourself something to look forward to. Do you see how this is going to be more sustainable? This is a goal setting framework that you can come back to for more goals. So let's say you want to pay off that credit card debt, and then your next goal is to save for a down payment. You can use the same framework here to keep yourself motivated. So I have my phone here. I'm going to take, it's 3:03 for my East Coast girlies. I want to take a minute and I would love for everyone to write out a money goal for themselves, and then share in the chat. If you don't mind, I would love to just like see what y'all are working on, see what y'all trying to do, because I want to hype you up. I'm literally sitting all alone in this room, but I can feel the vibes. I can feel the energy from all of y'all. And my extrovert heart is just like absolutely loving it. Also, I'm an Aries. I've been seeing people dropping their star signs. I don't know if you can feel my Aries energy coming through. Okay, we have some goals. Okay, one person says, I want to invest more aggressively. Get a little more specific with that goal. Like, what account do you want to invest in? How much more money do you want to be putting towards that? Okay, someone says, I want to have 500K in my retirement account by 2030. Yes. First of all, I love that number. 500K is so powerful. I love the timeline 2030. We're 6 years off. And I love that you're saying specifically retirement account. That is a beautiful goal. Someone says by April 2025, I will pay off the $800 plus balance on my credit card. Yes, you will. I know you will. That's the thing, is I'm like, oh, I see that for you. Buy an investment property in the next 5 years. Yes, I love that. That's so good. That's so powerful. Oh my gosh. Someone else says, I want to buy one more investment property this year. Maybe the two of you should talk. Maybe you should become investment property friends. I'm looking to reach 10K in my HYSA. Oh my gosh, that rhymes. 10K in the HYSA. That's a goal you can stick to. Oh, this is so beautiful. Amazing. Pay off my 28K student loan and up my 401K to 2 million. Scorpio middle child. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this energy. I'm loving the middle child energy. Okay. Y'all, okay, wait, Carla, sorry to call you out, but you said I want to build an investment home in the Catskills Mountain in the next 3 years, 5 bed, 3 bath. Girl, I love the Catskills. Like, meet you there. All right. Just like, let's do it. So, okay, I'm too excited. I got to move on to my next slide. Now that we have these amazing goals, right? Let's talk about creating a plan to reach them. So when we have a sustainable goal and we have a sustainable plan, it means it's repeatable, right? So what I want you, first step with the plan, make the goal. We have the goal. We already did that. Check that off. The next step is to be honest with yourself about your strengths and your struggles. And I'll use myself as an example. I am really good at getting started. I have a lot of energy. Maybe you can tell. I have a very clear vision for myself and my money. I'm very good at initiating. I'm also very good at outreach. So like, I'm the planner in the friend group. I'm like, look, we're going to this restaurant at this time. I'll pick you up. Let's go. Something that I struggle with, attention to detail. I'm very big picture. Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that beautiful sunrise. And I don't notice the mountain lion like off in the corner, like, that's me. So in order to create a sustainable financial plan for myself, I need to be honest about my strengths and my struggles. How can I lean into my strengths and make those work for me? And how can I get help and accountability with my struggles? So to give you an example, for 2 years, I met every single Monday with two other women, and we had an accountability group for ourselves. And every Monday we would say, okay, look, over the next 5 days, here's what I want to accomplish in my business. Like, here's what I'm focusing on this week. Having to say out loud to two other people that I respected and admired every single Monday, what I was going to do that week forced me to hone in on the details, right? It forced me to highlight the areas that I struggle with. And it allowed people to give me feedback. If I just said, oh, I want to create content this week, the feedback that I would get is, okay, Kara, but on what platform? How long are the videos that you want to film? What are the topics you want to cover, right? Like, what kind of content are you creating? The accountability of having to say it out loud to other people and to get feedback helped me zone in on how to get better at the areas that I struggled with. So being honest, what am I good at? What do I need help with? That is step one of our sustainable financial plan. Step two is to find a tool that you like that can help you be sustainable, that can help you show up. So for me, it was that group. I had to meet them for an hour every single Monday. And because I liked these people, I didn't want to show up and have to explain that I hadn't done what I said I was going to do last week. Like I knew I was going to see them every Monday. And so I knew that I had to get my work done. So find a tool that you like. This may be an accountability group. It may be a budgeting tool, depending on your goal. It may be that you need to find a real estate agent that you vibe with, but find a tool, find a community that works for your goal. And then I also want you to set short-term, midterm, and long-term goals. So a lot of you in here in the chat set long-term goals, like I want to do this by 2030. I want to do this in the next 5 years. Those are long-term goals. I like to set my goals short, mid, and long. So short meaning in the next 3 months, mid meaning in the next year, long-term meaning in the next 2+ years. This way you're creating a path towards your long-term goals. If my short-term goal is I want to open an HYSA, a high yield savings account, in the next week, that's a great short-term goal. A midterm goal is I want to save $1,000 in that HYSA over the next 6 months. Fantastic midterm goal. Long-term, I want to save $50,000 in my HYSA so that I can buy an investment property. So you see how our short-term goal, open an HYSA in the next week, is actually helping us reach our long-term goal, buy an investment property. Have your goals feed into each other. They're not all necessarily going to be 1 to 2 to 3, but all of the things that you want for your financial life should flow together like a river. And then, like I mentioned before, reward yourself for forward movement. Don't let money be shameful, and don't let your goals be something that you feel that you need to hide, or that you can't celebrate debt payoff. If you only paid off your credit cards and you still have student loans, like you paid off your credit cards. Congrats, absolutely worth celebrating. Remind yourself that, I saw this in the chat earlier, somebody said, like, we have to remember this is our first time doing life too, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I want you to remind yourself that, like, this is not a dress rehearsal. Every day is something that we are showing up for. It's live, it's happening in real time, and we're never going to get this time back. So fold joy into your financial plan. Give yourself a reward system, give yourself time off. If you hustled really hard for a while and you want to take 6 months off from working really intensely on your goals, great. That's all sustainability built into your plan, right? Remember, we're building a financial plan and a relationship to money that we can have for the rest of our lives, not just for the next 6 months, okay? This is a financial strategy that I want you to return to in 6 years, in 10 years. It's what I want you to talk to your family about. It's what I want you to teach your kids. And then finally, check in often, but don't be rigid. So I'm type A. I like to check my budget, for example, multiple times a week. I like to see the numbers. I like to know what's going on. That works for me. Finding a form of accountability and a way to check in with your numbers is crucial to financial success. You don't have to be super rigid and say, I need to check my bank accounts every day at 7 a.m. But say, okay, every Sunday I'm going to sit down, I'm going to put on Selena, I'm going to check my bank account, I'm going to check my budget, like make it a joyful type of way that you can spend time with money so that you can come back to it again and again. Oh my gosh, someone shares, I do my budget check every Saturday. Yes, that's what I am talking about. I love it. So I think as we think about sustainable money habits and a sustainable relationship to money, we also have to remember, A, we're coming from a lot of different places, right? Everyone has a unique money story. And B, we are living in a very expensive country. So I share this number here. $8,000 is the median amount that American households had in savings in 2022. So if you have more than this, kudos to you. If you have less than this, know that you're not alone. And if you're chilling at 8K, congrats, you're right on, you're right on the money, as they would say. I share this because I think so often on social media in particular, we can't be sure what the financial truth is of other people's lives. And it's very easy to compare ourselves to other people, especially right now. It's like vacation season. It seems like everyone's in Europe. And I'm like, I'm here sweating in North Carolina. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. And sometimes we can hold ourselves in comparison to other people. We can get down on ourselves. But the truth of the matter is that we don't always know other people's lives. And we live in a country that is very expensive. So as you're on your financial journey, this is why I stress the reward system so much. Know that you're on your own financial journey. You don't have to compare yourself to other people. You don't have to achieve the goals that other people are achieving if they don't make sense for you. I'm seeing people are like, yeah, is everyone in Italy right now? Like, maybe we don't even have to go to Italy. Like, maybe we can just be happy in North Carolina. It'll be amazing. I actually love North Carolina, but it is muggy. But we don't have to compare ourselves to others, right? And we have to remind ourselves, we don't always know the truth of other people's lives. Like maybe they're in Italy with 30 grand in credit card debt. We don't know. We just don't know. The other thing I think that I really want to stress for us as Latinas is that 83% of Hispanic and Latino Americans do not have a retirement account. And that is from a study on Hispanics for a secure retirement. So this is a picture of two of my cousins that I blocked their faces out for their privacy. They're both in their early 20s. And when they turned 18, I helped them open up IRAs, which stands for Individual Retirement Account. And I think we talked a little bit about this in the previous session. You know, Deepti and Maria talked about this. Sometimes you're the one that has to kind of stand up and carry the weight of learning about money and helping other people open accounts and being the one that people can come to with questions. And there's a beauty and there's also a pain in that, right? Because you have to be on all the time. And sometimes you're like, can someone else be on? Can someone else have this? I think that it helps us all when we acknowledge, hey, our community has a deep need for this information. And I want to be a part of that change in my community. And the more people that can learn the language of money, the less of a burden I have to bear, right? So by helping my cousins open their IRAs, they now know what an IRA is. Like, I don't manage their investments. I'm just like, hey, I got this for you, put some money in it, do your thing. Take that knowledge and keep spreading it. Bring it to your friends, bring it to other members of the family that maybe I'm having a little bit of beef with right now, okay? Hey, I think it's so important for us to lift as we climb, to bring other people with us. I always say, I don't want to get to the top of the mountain and be like, I'm a millionaire and look around and no one else is up here with me, right? Like, that's no fun. I want to party at the top with everybody. I don't want to be up there alone, just my money to keep me friends. That's not fun. So sharing the knowledge and helping break down some of these generational curses, some of these generational burdens, I think there is a real honor in that. I think there is a real power in that. And I really want everyone to understand that you don't have to be the alpha in the family all the time. Take your breaks, reward yourself. Okay. um, so the final thing that I really want to ask that you incorporate into your financial plan is financial community. You've heard me talk a lot about like accountability groups. I just talking about family. I think what's really important is that we have financial community. We have people that lift us as we climb. We have people that we can go to and say, you know what? I was just watching Amigas and Wealth, and this girl kept saying this phrase, IRA, IRA. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is? Can you help me open one? Or someone that you can go to and be like, I just opened my IRA and I invested $500. Like, can we celebrate? Financial community is a lot of things. And that's why I've dropped my IG, because like, feel free to slide into my DMs and be like, hey, I opened my first IRA and I will celebrate you. Feel free to slide in with some questions and I will happily talk about money with you. Build financial community and let community carry you when you can't walk any further. That's the thing, that so many of us are the ones who are in charge, but by building financial community, we share that responsibility and we say, you know what? I don't know everything about this topic, but you know a lot about it. Can you teach me? Right? Find someone who knows something a little bit different than you and become stronger together. So I always like to say, to stay in the game, especially when you represent many other players, you have to give yourself financial community, okay? So we can move mountains with little tools. I think a lot of us often think, oh, if I don't have $10,000, I shouldn't bother investing. You can invest with $5. Small things become big things. We know that the Latino community is up against some like pretty big financial challenges, but we have the opportunity to change the narrative, and we all have within us the ability to change what comes next, not just for our own lives, but for all of us as Latinos in the United States. So I really just want to end this presentation. I really would love for you to brag to me. I don't know how often you get the chance to brag in your life, but I'm a big believer in it. Okay? I know all of you are really accomplished people. I know you've all done amazing things. So how have you moved mountains in your life, in your career, or in your business or money? I want you to tell me something that you do really well. Maybe you are a really good aunt. Maybe you are a fantastic spreadsheet maker. Maybe you make the best tostones in the world. What is something that you are very good at? I want you to end this session knowing, I want you to know that you are amazing and that you can take that amazing energy to the financial part of your life. So, okay, I am going to share your brags. Okay, someone says debt-free at 36. Amazing. Someone says moved myself across cities to start new careers. I started my own business. I wrote a book about mental health. I went from the barrio to the boardroom. Yes, from poorer than thou to having financial freedom. Amazing. I'm the generational wealth builder for my family, and everyone has an IRA. I love it. I bought my mom her house at 23. Wow, that is very, very impressive. Pay off trips to enjoy vacation time. Yes, treat yourself. I'm a great interior designer, architectural finisher. I wish I could read all of these because you are all incredible, but you already know that. So take this energy, take your brag energy, put it on like it's your blazer, and take that energy into your financial life, okay? Because you can do it. So just as a quick recap of what I talked about today, I want you to find the right tools for your financial life. I want you to set clear goals and rewards to stay motivated in the long term. And I want you to build financial community where you can give and receive support. We don't win alone, we win together. Like I mentioned, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok. So come find me. I'll put it in the chat one more time. And thank you again to We All Grow and JP Morgan Wealth Management for having me here today. Let me stop sharing.
Thank you so much, Kara. That was incredible. Had so many reflections, takeaways, and I think it was beautiful to also see all of the achievements and all of the power that's in this virtual room. I almost feel like I want to get together. I'm taking names because I want to get together with all of you later and talk more about our dreams and our goals and how we're going to get there. So some of the things that I heard in your session, Kara, were around goal setting, right? Like short post, mid post, long-term posts, and identifying what we're really good at, as well as what are our weaknesses, because there is power in that. So we can set up sustainable groups that can hold us accountable, right? So all of these things are super, super important, and definitely things that I plan to incorporate